Yo guys, how's it going? It is Welsh Rugby here, and this is a brand new show on the channel, which will be a weekly show looking at Welsh Rugby in particular, looking at the 4 regions, how they've done, how is that going to affect the national team of Wales, and a lot more to discuss on hot topics that surround Welsh Rugby. So if you're new here and hyped for the new series, subscribe, like the video, and please do get involved in the comments down below. Let's get into this. Start things off with Scarlets, who won on the weekend 38-29 against Benetton Treviso at Parc Scarlets. A great performance from the Scarlets, but a huge talking point that we need to talk about in a second that affected the whole match as a whole. Scarlets scored quite a few tries. Gareth Davis got 2, Fonatia got 1, Mockinockel got 1, Kennedy got 1, Tom Pridey got 1. But first of all, I have to say, Benetton Treviso put in a shift and a half. And the reason for that is that Ern Herbert was sent off for using his forearm to take out Samson Lee in a ruck. Now, for me, a straight red, no debate about it. When it happened, they went to the TMO and the ref decided 100% a red card. And I agreed with him, and I don't support the Scarlets. So for nearly 3/4 of the match, Benetton had to play with just 14 men on the pitch, and later on they had another guy sent to the sin bin, so they were down to 13 men for one part of the match. But they came back and impressed everyone, and the Italian teams have really improved this year, especially Treviso. Treviso played well, yes, in patches, but Scarlets were always going to win. Even though Treviso was in the lead at some point, we knew that their physical ability was going to wane a bit. Italian sides naturally are not the most physically fit, and we knew that they would struggle later on in the game, but with just 13 men at one point, it was going to be such a big struggle. But they played really well. Scarlets on the whole played pretty well. I thought they got the job done. It wasn't incredible, it wasn't amazing. They got the job done. Some really frustrating news for the Scarlets fans would be James Davis, who hobbled off the pitch with a knee injury. Looked pretty serious to me. But positive news for the Scarlets has got to be that Jonathan Davis is set to be back playing in just under 2 weeks. Great news for the Scarlets and great news for Wales as they look towards the Autumn Internationals, which is now just 2 months away. And I will be going to the Wales-Scotland match and filming some of that, so make sure you're subscribed for that one. The next game we're going to look at is the Cardiff Blues, who unfortunately lost on the weekend against Zebra 26-24 after leading 21-7 at half-time, which is ridiculous. We'll get into it now. They scored 3 tries in 11 minutes, so 21-0 at one point, and it looked like they were going to be cruising. The question almost was, how many points can they get? But Zebra came back and completed it in the 80th minute, winning 26-24. Obviously, Anscombe got a penalty as well for the Blues. But Zebra came back and impressed everyone. Fair play to them. And my question has to be, how can the Blues let this slip so much that they then go on to lose, and they were leading 21-7 at half-time? Is it inexperience? Is it coaching? Is it a mentality thing? Let me know in the comments down below. What do you guys think? Why did Cardiff Blues let this slip so badly? And no disrespect to Zebra, they're not the best team in the league by a distance. And it seems like the Welsh teams are tripping up and losing against teams which they really should not be losing against. And if you want any chance of making those playoffs, you've got to be winning these games. And not even that, the fact that they were so far ahead and they let it slip right at the end, it is extremely frustrating as a Welsh fan. Some positives to take from the match. I thought Anscombe played well and controlled the game very well, especially in the first half. But again, it's that question of how and why did they let it slip. And they've got a tough game coming up next week, and we'll have to see how they do with that one. The Ospreys, when we thought the Ospreys were playing well, they won 2 games on the bounce, played fantastically against the Cheetahs last weekend, and then they lose 49-13 away to Munster. Absolutely thumped, conceding 7 tries. But there's a big issue here, which I want to know. Why did the manager picked such a weakened side. Only 3 players stayed in the team to play against Munster, who had played against the Cheetahs last week in such a good performance. The likes of George North, Alan Wynne, Tipperick, Alan Davis were all rested for this match, which is an extremely tough game. So I don't know if the manager thought, we're not going to win this, so we'll just put our team out there and we'll let them do their thing. Or did he just think, oh, I don't know what he was thinking. If you guys know what he's thinking, again, let me know in the comments down below. But why? And as an Ospreys fan, yes, I'm an Ospreys fan. Why is the question I have to ask. Another big issue for the Ospreys on that game was our ill discipline let us down. 2 sin bins for Nemasadze and Adam Beard as well, both sent off for 10 minutes each for ill discipline again, and we conceded 7 tries. And to be honest, any positives? The answer is no. There were no positives to take. A very weak side against a good Irish team. I don't know what we were thinking doing that, but yes, we went down 49-13 to Munster. It was a frustrating day. Does it get any better with the Dragons? How did the Dragons do this weekend? It doesn't get much better. They lost 52-10 to Leinster out in Ireland, conceding 7 tries again. Ross Moriarty was sent off for 10 minutes to the sin bin for a tackle on Johnny Sexton, which was questionable whether it was worthy of a yellow card. Maybe a good word with him would have been enough, but the ref deemed it right to send him to the sin bin, and off he was. The Dragons, though, it's always a question of how many games are they going to win each season, and how many games are they going to be actually competitive in. And that's my question for the Dragons. They seem to be signing players. Ross Moriarty, brilliant signing. But then again, the likes of Gavin Henson, who's way past his best. And we cannot deny that. Richard Hibbard, probably way past his best than when he was playing at Wales. The likelihood of Hibbard getting a call up to Wales again, I think is pretty unlikely. Unless he does something incredible over the next 2 months. And the Dragons, it's just a question of what is the point sometimes, and I don't want to offend any Dragons fans or any Dragon players, but sometimes you have to ask, what is the point when you're getting smashed week in, week out, almost every game? It's frustrating. It takes the heart out of it for me. I don't really know what the answer is. If you have any suggestions, again, comments down below, guys. Let me know, what do you suggest for the Dragons? So, shall we say more money into the Dragons and less into the other regions? Or do we say we scrap the Dragons and we just focus on these 3 regions? Or do we maybe say we start a completely new region or rebrand it completely? I don't know. Suggestions down below. Fantastic that would be. So what's next up for these 4 sides? The Ospreys are home against Benetton, so we saw what Benetton could do against the Scarlets, and that was with 14 men. So if they play anything like they did against Scarlets, and Ospreys play anything like they did against Munster, there's only going to be one result. And I hope the manager picks our best side so we can go out and win that game. Scarlets, they head over to Connacht, and they'll be looking to win that one. They're playing pretty well now. Cardiff Blues host Munster, so that will be a challenge for sure, but they're at home. And then Dragons host Zebra. So, some big games coming up over the next week, and I'm looking forward to them. The game that's going to be live on your TVs this week, if you don't have Premier Sports, is the one on S4C. Dragons host Zebra on Saturday night at 5:15, so do tune into that and support the Dragons, or get down to your local club. If you can go see these teams, go down and watch them. Why not support them and give them a cheer? So there you go, that's the Welsh Rugby Show. That's episode 1 done. I hope you've enjoyed it, something different. Make sure to subscribe, hit that notifications button, and comment your thoughts down below. I've been Biss Rugby. It's been a pleasure. Peace.